Hello, Frida here. So according to the title, we are DIYing our own underwear out of kelp. Or wait, what? Have I misunderstood something? Well, I have all these tops here that for some reason are no longer worthy of being in my closet anymore. And I have donated or sold all the ones that I could or thought anyone would want. And as someone who likes to sew, I'm thinking, that's a lot of fabric. And that naturally leads to, let's sew some knickers. So here we have our fabric, and for underwear we need fold over elastic. So here comes the fun part of finding matching or nicely contrasting colors of this. I chose to work with this striped sweater. Never really liked the top, loved the fabric. For this project you're going to need a pattern you like. I'm using a slightly modified version of the Ava high-waisted panties from Oh Lulu. I'll link that below. To start, I'm cutting the front from the back along the seams to get two pieces to work with. I hope you have dedicated fabric scissors, paper dulls scissors. Lock them up if you have to. I'm giving myself the extra complication of trying to match the stripes by using this fabric. Here I'm making sure I have enough fabric for the front and back piece and to match the stripes. I have chosen to start by this darker purple stripe, and it's important to make sure that the outer side corners match up. As the pattern calls for one side to be on the fold, I have folded the fabric and is now pinning it so the stripes matches up all along the fabric. You can see that I am making sure that the pin point goes through the exact same point on the upper and lower fabric parts. Do the same to the other fabric piece. Making sure that the corner lines up with the dark purple stripe. On both pieces. I am working on my ironing board, which is hollow, so I can stick the pins right through, securing the paper pattern to the fabric to the board, but you don't have to do that obviously. Marking around the pattern. If this was not striped, I would probably just have cut straight around the paper as it sits, but I'm being a bit extra careful here. Putting in some extra pins in the fabric to hold everything secure while I cut. There we go, we have our back piece. Do the exact same procedure with the front piece, matching up the outer side corner. Front piece, equally important. Look how nicely those stripes lines up. Right, onto the gusset. It would be nice if I could continue the stripy pattern, and here you have a sped up part of me frantically searching for 2 matching parts on the leftover fabric. But no, I had to give up and settle for following this black stripe. This part won't show much when wearing anyway. We need 2 of these, preferably matching. Back, front and gusset. Moving over to the sewing machine, fold over elastic and suitable sewing thread. Right, we are starting by attaching the gusset piece to the back piece. With the back piece sandwiched between the gusset parts that has the right sides facing towards the back piece. Pin those together, I do one at a time. While I'm pinning, I'll talk a little about sewing stretch fabric with an ordinary sewing machine. It can be done, and it's actually quite easy. Just use a narrow sort of medium length zigzag stitch. Experiment a bit on leftover fabric and you will see that it stretches with the fabric while at the same time making it look nice from the right side. On my Fuff machine I have the stitch setting at about 2 wide and 1 long. I use this setting throughout the whole project. And now we sew this together. My pattern calls for 1/2 inch seam allowance. Here I am cutting notches in the fabric to help it follow the curved seam. I am also going to trim the seam allowance in a staggering way. First check which side is the inside of the panties and trim the fabric that will be closest to your skin, close to the seam. And the middle one a little longer, leaving the last one as is. That seam is looking nice. Now we are going to attach the gusset piece to the front piece, pinning them together. But we are going to have to make a little magic trick to get this piece to here. So we scrunch/roll up the front and back pieces against the first gusset seam and bring the second gusset piece under and around, pinning that in place to get gusset sandwich number 2. That is not a sentence I ever thought I would say. Sew this in place. Check which way is the inside of the panties and do the staggered trimming of the seam allowance once again. No need for notches since this piece is straight. And then the magic. Turn the gusset side right out and ta-da! Nice enclosed seams, looking professional and comfortable. Okay, time for fold over elastics. Don't be afraid, it's not as complicated as it looks. Starting with one leg opening. Place the elastic right side up on the wrong side of the panties, lining up the fold in the elastic with the edge of the fabric using the same zigzag stitch, so close to the elastic's edge while at the same time stretching the elastic slightly. I know this sounds complicated, but really you will get a feel for how much you have to stretch the elastic to get a good fit, and this is personal. I like it tighter around my legs but looser around my waist. It depends on the pattern and your body too, of course, so just go for it and practice. Oh, and remember, there is no wrong side to the fold over elastic. Use whichever side you like best. I am going for the shiny side here. Cut the elastic at the edge of the fabric and trim off any fabric sticking out along the side of the seam. Especially important around the gusset so it doesn't get too bulky. Then you are going to, wait for it, fold over the elastic. Holding the fold in place, so close to the edge of the elastic while stretching it slightly as before. Make sure you are covering the stitches from the other seam. Look at that professional looking elastic. The gusset is now totally enclosed. Nice, right? Now do the same to the other leg opening. I wish I could sew that fast in reality. Right, time to sew a side seam. And now I have to be careful to match up the stripes again. After pinning the edge, make sure the stripes are aligned further in from the edge. Remember, we have 1/2 inch seam allowance and the stripes have to match where we are actually going to sew. Sewing the side seam. It's a bit bulky with the elastics, but just take it slow. Trim the excess fabric. Look how nice that matches. Okay, now stop. Do not seam the other seam. We are going to attach the fold over elastic to the top edge first. Follow the same procedure as before, but this is easier since the edge is straight and there is no gusset. As I said, I like a looser fit here, but that is personal. When you arrive at the side seam, make sure to fold it to the back. I used a pin to hold it in place. Cut the elastic and trim along the seam, then fold it over and sew as before. Now we can sew the side seam, matching the stripes as on the other side. I don't like to start sewing at the elastic, so I'm starting at the middle and then turning and going the other way, ending by sewing over the elastics. Also, make sure that the elastics are lined up where you are going to sew, not just at the edge. Trim the excess fabric and tack the elastic edges down towards the back with a few stitches. And look, here we have a finished pair of underpants, knickers, underwears, whatever you want to call them, with matching stripes and not even made of kelp. Now we can decorate them. Optional of course, but it's nice to have something to identify the front when you don't have any tags at the back. Think dark, tired mornings. You can use ribbons, buttons, bows or whatever you like. I'm gonna use this button. I'm assuming that you can sew in a button, and if you can't, there is surely a YouTube video about that too. There we are, finished! I am really happy with these. They fit perfectly and I got to repurpose that sweater I never used. Next time I'm gonna show you how to work with the downloadable PDF pattern and how to use the details of your clothing to decorate the underwear. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more crafty content. If you like what I do, consider sponsoring me via Ko-fi to help make these videos possible. Thank you for watching and see you next time!